Welcome to the tour of my 2017 Going GoPod Plus, which is a micro touring caravan. It's just over 4 meters in length. It has a MiRO of 490 kilograms and an MTPLM of 750 kilograms. And I bought it in a private sale at the beginning of 2023. Now, for those that are in a rush or that don't plan on sticking around, I'm just going to give you a quick spin of the inside so you can check out the layout and see what it's like in such a small caravan. But if you are planning on sticking around, let's now do the full tour. So I'm here on the same pitch, but the previous video was recorded when I just set up. It's now 6 days later and we're packing to leave. So as you can see, the table's been taken down and I can now give you a full tour. So underneath all the seats you have these storage spaces. I only really use this one on this side because the other one has the battery in and the front one is a bit of a pain in the arse. You do have this little cubby hole, but again, it's not that easy. Here is my little control dash where I can control the leisure battery, the vehicle battery, the water pump, the lights, etc. I also have a plug socket, and on this side I have the heating controls. So it runs off gas or electric. You can run off electric if you're on a hookup, or if you're off grid, you can run off the gas. So this is the sink, pretty self-explanatory. And under this I have a 2-burner hob, which obviously runs off the gas. I also have this little side table that can pop up should I need a little bit more kitchen space. I'm obviously not going to be cooking a Sunday lunch, but it's enough to do most small quick dishes. Now on this side I have 2 USB sockets, a 12V socket and also a TV aerial. And this grey box here is my fridge. When you're on a hookup it'll run off the electric, but if you're not on a hookup you can take it out and run it off gas. As you can see, it's quite big, you can fit quite a few things inside of it. Down here is another storage cupboard. Let's just get rid of Winston's toy. Another storage cupboard on this side, so top shelf. And then underneath I just store the water canisters and the water pipe. The bin I put on myself, that isn't a standard feature, but look how good it fits. I was very proud of that when I fitted it. And then swinging around to the other side, again a 2-shelf cupboard. My carbon monoxide alarm is there. It doesn't live in there, it's only there because I was about to travel. When it's out it stays on a shelf, but I put it in there so it doesn't rattle around. Obviously a couple of books, I always have some books on hand. Then underneath we have the drawer which I store the cutlery in. I have like these clear plastic containers which are very good for storing different size things. And then on the other side, a tall cupboard which I use for food. And you've obviously got a mirror on the door as well. Bottom cupboard is meant to be for a 10-litre chemical toilet. So it has these rails underneath. The idea is that you're meant to slide the toilet out, use it, and then slide it back in again. But I don't really like the toilet being inside the pod, so I put the toilet outside in a tent. Let's see, what else can we show you? Oh, the windows. So I really like the windows. You have these fly screens first, and then the window opens as you would expect a window to open. Just undo the catches and give it a push. And then whilst the window is open, you can also bring back down the fly screen. So that is lovely. When I sit in the pod and I work in the summer, it's nice to have the windows open and not be bothered by the flies, but still get the ventilation and the fresh air. And then if you squeeze these two things here and put it all the way up, then you have a blackout blind. obviously for times when you're getting changed or going to bed at night. And on this side you have a thermal screen, so this helps to keep the heat out in the summer and the heat in during the winter. Now the front window doesn't have the blinds, but I purchased this thermal screen for extra privacy and again to keep the heat out in the summer and the heat in the winter. So I'll show you it from the front. Winston's trying to get treats out the van. So here's what it looks like. The eyes aren't on the windscreen, the eyes are stuck onto the thermal screen. So when I remove the thermal screen, then I have a clear window and they're just on by them suction pads. So it's very easy to remove. Winston is still waiting for some treats out of the van. Okay, let's go back inside. And what else can I show you? Oh, the pop top. Okay, so when the pop top is down, I can't actually stand up properly. I'm 5'7" and I have to hunch over a little bit. But it's really easy to put up. You just undo these clips, as so, and you give it a push. And up it goes. Now the skirt on mine is a little bit dirty. I need to either get it replaced or cleaned. But there you go. It also has these vents that you can zip open, again for more ventilation, and it just gives you that extra headroom. There is also a 100-watt solar panel fitted on top of the pop top, which allows you to have some electricity off grid, but personally I find that everything in the pod works so much better with an electric hookup. Now to put the pop top down, I pull it down halfway and then I pull the skirt inwards. And then once that is done all the way around, I then pull the rest of the top all the way down. And then you just simply affix all the clips again. That's it, nice and simple. It does make a big difference having the pop top up. You also get more ventilation, you get a lot more light, let alone the extra headroom. Now speaking of lights, let's go through the lights that we have in here. So this switch controls those two spotlights there. The switch next to it controls the two kind of bedside lamps. You can also control those individually, so you don't have to have them both on or both off. Obviously you can have one each and do what you want with them. And I added these little fairy lights, which don't look so good in the daytime, but in the evening I do think they add a nice cozy feel to the pod. They were one of my best Amazon purchases. Hey Winst. Okay, now over here you have one switch which controls these lights above the windows. Looks a bit crap in the daytime, but they're actually really good. This controls your porch light, which I've lost the cover for. And then this big one controls your outside light, which is actually really bright. Now the seating area does turn into a full double bed, enough for 2 people, but I'll show you guys that in another video. But I think that is the inside tour done. Oh, you do also have this window here, which is like a porthole shape, but again I always leave the blind down for privacy. So now let's look at the outside fixtures and fittings. So you've obviously got your electric hookup. This one here is for gas, so if you want to run like an outdoor barbecue or something. Here is your TV aerial, which I don't use because I don't watch TV. And then right around the other side, or on the back should I say, is this one, which is a 240 volt 3-pin plug socket. Again, I've never used that, but I suppose it could come in handy one day. and here is your water inlet, which obviously supplies the water to the sink. Now shockingly, I also have a motor mover fitted to this Caravan. Even though this is a small Caravan, moving it by hand, especially uphill, can still be quite difficult. So a motor mover allows me to control it with a remote control. I can move it forwards, backwards, turn it around, etc. Now at the moment it's still hooked up to the electricity supply, but it doesn't have to be. So even if I unhooked it, it would still work. It would run off the leisure battery and I would still be able to move the pod around with just a remote control, which I think is pretty cool. It's like the best toy ever. Okay, so here's the hitch. Pretty standard hitch you would expect for this type of Caravan. And we have this gas locker at the front. Now it does hold these 3.9 kilogram Cala gas bottles, which have been discontinued, so I am going to have to change the gas supply at some point. But I do like this little gas locker. It's really handy as well for storing other little bits and bobs. So that is the tour of my GoPod. Now here is my little travelling train all set up. And since I got it, me and my dog have spent more days away in it than we have done at home. It's really easy for me because I can work and travel. In fact, I'm recording this video from sat inside my pod at this moment in time. But thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.